Whoa.
Drake London. What?
I mean, your numbers can help
Breaking
support
news.
your. Wait, hold up.
Tell you something, Lane.
Bryce Underwood, ESPN's #1 overall recruit in the class of 2025, is flipping his commitment to the University of Michigan. He told Schools Today, per Adam Schefter. That is the official Adam Schefter account, and he has tweeted it. Bryce Underwood is flipped from LSU to Michigan.
Account. Whoa, that is breaking news.
Holy shit! Are you kidding me?
No, this is Adam Schefter just
11
tweeted
million
it.
Oh my
followers.
gosh. We got back and forth like pretty heated last week. Holy shit.
We did.
All right, so this is it. I thought we were going to have to go to the transfer portal for Bryce Underwood. For like the next great quarterback. Let me start that over. I thought we were going to have to go to the transfer portal for an elite quarterback because Bryce Underwood said he wasn't going to flip his commitment. Turns out he flipped his damn commitment. Michigan got NIL right because you don't get the #1 recruit in the nation, let alone the #1 quarterback, unless you got your NIL right. Bryce Underwood is being compared to Vince effing Young. That's who you just got into your program. He is an absolute stud, hell of an arm, and he can run the ball as well. Bryce Underwood, welcome to Ann Arbor. Let's go. This changes the whole entire trajectory of Sharon Moore as a coach and this program for the next 4 years. You saw what happened when they got J.J. McCarthy, an elite quarterback, into their program. 3 straight Big Ten titles, 3 straight wins against Ohio State, and 1 national championship. You're looking at that kind of impact with a guy like Bryce Underwood. Let's go.
Do you trust Sharon Moore to handle him correctly?
Yeah, he's going to have to. This is not a negative day. I do. Right now, I have to. Yes, I have to.
That's crazy. Wow.
What if Michigan's like, all right,
Good for Michigan.
we'll get rid of Sharon Moore. He's like, all right, I'm coming.
Well, see ya.
Wow.
No way.
Dude, I remember 2 years ago, he had a game where he completed every pass. And it was like 28 of them or something. It's something crazy. Bryce Underwood's a dog.
Yeah, he is. Bryce Underwood is
I
a
like
dog.
Bryce Underwood before the whole Michigan's like.
Legitimately a dog. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's the #1 player in the country. That is huge for
Holy
Michigan.
shit.
Wow.
Chase. Clip that up. Let's go. That's holy. This is insane right now. This is it.
I was like, is Chase here?
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking like that's
Speaking
like.
through the airwaves.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
this is the biggest news
Damn.
maybe ever. I mean, definitely. This is bigger than
It was
Rashawn Gary.
fun trolling you guys.
This
but-
is bigger. This is bigger than Rashawn Gary when Jim Harbaugh got
He's
him.
the #1 recruit
Wait.
in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so was Rashawn, but this is the #1 quarterback
Didn't his receiver
that you
come
were
in
gonna
last night?
miss. Yeah, number 2 player in the state of Michigan. He was considered an athlete coming out
Okay, so he might play a little bit of offense.
Yeah.
That's why there's confusion there. in the position.
Damn.
from Belleville. Wow.
So I like hating on Michigan. It's fun to hate on Michigan.
I do too.
So they are also going after another LSU wide receiver recruit. Watch
Fuck.
out for that flip as well. Going
My
forward.
only thing, Nick, and I mean this out of my heart, I really do. I think Sharon Moore can fuck this up. I swear to God, like, because that's not his style. That's not his style of offense. He's an offensive lineman. Even with Jim Harbaugh last year, even with J.J. McCarthy, a first-round like quarterback he ended up being, but they were like run. They never let the quarterbacks get loose. I'm not saying he can fuck it up and like they don't end up going to Michigan. I'm saying once they are in Michigan, they don't look like what it could be or what it should be.
We had, fans in the chat. MPWMU says no Spenny. I don't trust more. Someone else in the Woodward Sports chat, Weezy D313. Sharon definitely not going to get an opportunity to coach him.
But if they're making the commitment, I feel like Sharon Moore's got to be part of that. Unless they literally said, we're getting rid of him.
Yeah, unless they might have. I mean, look at LSU right now. They're a
who's next
dumpster
in
fire
line?
as well.
Yeah.
Like,
You gotta call Braylon.
Brian Kelly's an absolute, dude. See if we can get Braylon on the phone. This is massive.
Yeah, that is nuts.
But shoot him a text. But okay, so if it's not, Sharon Moore, which obviously I think it is, but okay, going back to Jim Harbaugh and
I've
Sharon
never seen
Moore
Nick
offense.
this happy in real time.
Sharon Moore's offense. You think about that offense.
Yeah.
You think about Jim Harbaugh's offense. He's doing the same thing in the NFL though, with an elite quarterback in Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And what are they doing? They're winning games. It's not super
fair.
flashy, but it gets the job done. And
Yeah.
to do that in today's college football, they kind of reinvented or went back to the old wheel, and they started running the ball again and started dominating at the line of scrimmage. They already have a top 15 offensive lineman recruited, left tackle, so you got a guy to protect him. I think that's big as well. This is massive for the University of Michigan. It's such a down season after the national title to get the number one player in the nation right now. I mean, a lot can happen until signing day, but to get him in your fucking program, this is massive for the University of Michigan.
That is crazy.
Won't turn 20 until his third year in college, so he's young for his grade as well. Just an extreme athlete, and that brings you an absolute leader to the locker room of Michigan. And this doesn't just help today. This helps for the next couple months until the signing day is actually here. Or I don't know the actual date right now. Sorry about that. But
you're good.
This helps you bring in other blue chip prospects and recruits to Ann Arbor. They lead the obvious number one recruit in the nation. Bryce Underwood going to Ann Arbor. Want your takeaways, Spenny, just as a state fan. Michigan goes out, gets the number one recruit. Obviously, it looks like they're starting to play with the big dogs here.
Yeah.
The SECs of the world, the Ohio States of the world. How do you see this playing for Michigan with getting the number one recruit? And how do you see it translating to Michigan State that maybe they have to step up their game in the NIL world?
Yeah, I mean, that fucking sucks. Like, you got the best quarterback, best player in the country, and that is huge, obviously, because they were a quarterback away from potentially being a college football playoff team this year. If they had decent coaching and a quarterback, they should be a college football team or college playoff team, on paper. So getting that guy, man, that sucks. We'll see what happens with Sharon Moore if they stay with him, if they entrust the kid, the recruit of the century for Michigan to Sharon Moore. That would speak a lot about him. But we'll see. They're going to have to change their defensive coordinator for sure, because the expectations now are you have to win another national championship. That's the expectations for Michigan now. Is you're right. You're swimming with the big dogs. You just outbid LSU for the number one player in the country. So you're right back in the heat of it. This was a down year for you guys, obviously, but starting next year, you're gonna be you're gonna have a top 5 rank next to your name probably. So the expectations are back on, and I don't know about Sharon Moore. I don't know how you guys feel about Sharon Moore, but for me as a Michigan State fan, yeah, it fucking sucks. It sucks to see them get a guy this good, but happy for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, because I'm a Bryce Underwood fan, I hope that Sharon Moore doesn't fuck this up. I hope they're able to get the pieces around him, offensive line included, and just run something where Bryce could do what he does best and just move the fucking chains. If he has to run, let him run, but also get him some weapons to go deep to as well. Fuck, man. This does suck. But I guess not. He stays home. And I mean, another plus for you guys, he played in Michigan weather before, too. It's not like some Cali kid come over here. Like, this kid that's been playing in Michigan his whole entire life. Sure. Do you think they upped the ante on the NIL deal?
The one that was reported? Yeah, I do. But, I mean, I didn't even... Yeah, they did, probably. I mean, you're going out and outbidding LSU. You know, there's a lot of money in LSU, but you were supposed to be this program with the extremely rich alumni that you always love to brag about in Michigan. It's about damn time they stepped up to the plate, and this is what we should expect moving forward. You got the number one quarterback. Now you go out and get him elite wide receivers in the transfer portal to help make that transition easier. And not just wide receivers. You need some upgrades on that offensive line.
You need upgrades on the offensive line. And you're losing your entire defensive line when you look at Mason Graham, Josiah Stewart, and Grant, and then you're losing Will Johnson, you're losing Colston Loveland. So that's what I wanted to ask you. Losing all those guys, obviously, in college football today, if you lose all those guys, you can just get them from different places with the transfer portal. What are your expectations next year for the Michigan Wolverines, knowing they're losing all of that talent, especially on defense, but having Bryce Underwood come in?
So I absolutely love to check out college football recruiting. Like, it's like one of my weird niches. I love to look at the 4 stars, 5 stars, see who they recruited with, who are they getting recruited by. And I was really big on Nebraska this year. And I thought they were going to start hot because they got Dylan Raiola, the number one quarterback. They did start hot. They lost a heartbreaker to Illinois, and now they're sitting at 5-5 after dropping 4 straight. Nebraska is not Michigan. They can go out and really drop some cash on transfer portal people to help Bryce Underwood's transition. So even with losing the first-round talent, I also think
that's how Nebraska got Dylan Raiola. Because, Nebraska used to be a superpower in college football as well. So they've got backers.
But this is, to this point, their relevancy was so far down.
Yeah.
Michigan just won the national championship last year. So I believe getting Bryce Underwood, the number one player, you already have a 5-star lineman coming. I believe they will be able to get transfer portal talent. And I'm not just talking, 3 stars. I'm talking high 4 stars, some of the best talent in the transfer portal. Michigan saw how big of a disaster it was last year and what Jim Harbaugh ended up kind of doing to this program when he took his DC, took a lot of the coaches, took this strength coach with him. He kind of ripped this program apart with him on his way winning the national championship, which no problem with it.
I got 2 questions for you because you didn't answer the first one.
What's the record going to be?
Yeah, what are your expectations for them next year?
First year,
9
wins, flirting with the playoff.
What is your expectation from them?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think those are fair expectations because you do have to replace a lot.
I'm not going to pick them to win 10, 11 games until I see them replace this talent.
Yeah, and then 2, is Sharon Moore your head coach game 1 next year?
To be honest, I'm reacting live on air right now, so I don't know what went into this recruiting of Bryce Underwood, but I have to think it was with Sharon Moore and with a plan for this offense. So I will say, Sharon Moore is your quarterback. Week 1, I think they beat Northwestern. I think they lose to Ohio State. I think that's how the season ends, but sky is the limit for the potential of this program, not to just be good next year or the year after. This is the potential to start the dynasty in college football if you're throwing out this kind of money in NIL.
Yeah, you got to throw out this season too, but
Brian Kelly's about to get drawn and quartered in Baton Rouge, dude.
Oh, for sure he is. For sure he is. They must have upped the. I think it makes sense that they upped the ante though too, because when the initial offer came out, the $10 million for the 4 years, everyone kind of scoffed at it, and he obviously went out publicly, posted on a story. He deleted it then afterward, but posted on a story like nah or something like that. And now all of a sudden it flips. More money was offered, but if Sharon Moore is gonna be the coach of this team, Nick, I got a homework assignment for you. If you're into watching the high school kids and the recruits and whatnot, they gotta get some offensive linemen.
Yeah,
and because that's his style of ball, and you can't switch that. You know what I'm saying? You can't just jump and then, I'm going to do West Coast. You don't know the ins and outs of West Coast. You don't love the West Coast game the way you love the 5 yards in a cloud of dust. You got to get these offensive linemen and keep them protected.
So I know, like you said, you're live on air.
Yeah, what up?
Will Michigan win a championship with Bryce Underwood?
100% they will.
100%.
Locking it. Lock it. Take it to the bank, Michigan fans.
Yeah.
And take it to the bank, everybody else watching. Michigan will win a natty under Bryce Underwood when they've had elite quarterbacks in the past, a.k.a. J.J. McCarthy.
Well, yeah, they've only had one.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not one of these just uber athletic kids that sit back and he's 60-yard bombs. He can. He's got in-breaking route coverage. Like he's got it all.
He has an extremely talented arm, and obviously he's an insane athlete.
This is crazy.
Good for you.
I'm happy. Let's wait until the pen hits the paper here, fellas. Like we said, we're reacting right now, boys? But
yeah, I can't imagine LSU
doesn't respond.
They're going to have to give up
and roll over. Yeah.
How often do you flip a flip? College football's so wild now. It's literally the Wild West.
Yeah, nowadays,
literally the Wild West. Anything can happen. So that's huge, man.
So how much money they offer? The LSU was like, oh God, we can't afford that.
What are you guys thinking?
Can Michigan afford the rest of the roster? Damn.
How much of it? I don't know this guy at all. Well, I've watched tape stuff, but I don't know anything about him personally. So
okay.
No. So with that being said, how much do you think was it? Just he wanted to go here, or he wanted to be home, and he was
money. It's money for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know it's money, but I'm saying this is.
I think he wanted to go here, but he wanted the respect from the university. Hey. Pay me what these guys are willing to pay me if you want me here.
That's exactly where I was going with this. I think he probably came back to them and was like, hey, if you do this price point, I'll go.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably how it went.
And I'll say this about going out and getting Bryce Underwood and spending that money, and if they have any more for these top end recruits that we're going to need to replace all the first round talent, you don't buy a Ferrari and leave it in a trash neighborhood. You're not going to go out and get the best available and leave him out to dry with no wide receivers and no offensive line. Yeah. There is not a chance in hell that is what their game plan is. And Bryce Underwood probably knows exactly who they're going after, or else he probably wouldn't have committed.
Mm-hmm. True. Brandon Davis is $20 million. With a
Brandon
emoji.
Davis?
No, in the chat.
He said 20 million?
Brandon Davis, yeah.
What?
Are we just confirming Brandon Davis knows that it's 20 million?
I mean, why would you put the
per sources
sign?
Yes.
A guy in the chat said that?
Said his cousin.
I mean,
per sources.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's got a Michigan jacket.
A Michigan fan says 20 million. No, we'll see.
I can see Michigan keeping the real amount under wraps too, because they don't want,
And like I said, dude, it's.
I mean, they did all this under wraps outside when the 10 million got out.
Yeah, it's wild, man. That sucks.
Good for Sharon. Needed something
Good
positive
for
to go
for
his
sure.
way. Yeah.
I mean,
either saved his job or killed his job.
Either saved his job or killed his job. One or the other for sure.
To be determined.